So in today's video we're going to be ranking the studio heads at the next step. So I'm going to be putting them in order. I do have an order. Sorry, hair in my face. Got this big spot there. Bit annoying. So at the bottom is Riley. I thought looking back at Riley's time as studio head was actually quite cringy. Most of her decisions were quite rushed, like when picking the trios. She was sort of in a rush, like she hadn't planned the group, she just chose them by whoever was standing next to each other. And she couldn't decide whether Alfie or James, which one should have the solo, and couldn't stop them from fighting over who should be the soloist. And she had a relationship with one of the dancers, which isn't right. She wasn't all negatives. She did put Rochelle on the trio instead of Sloan, which I thought was good because Sloan wasn't strong enough, even though Sloan got a bit upset by that. I just thought then Sloan grew up a bit then, so... But she couldn't do it to the best of her ability because she didn't have a choreographer, she didn't have a dance captain, so she just had to constantly go to one of her friends and ask for help. So either James, Eldon and West, or Elfie or Michelle. Emily did come back to help her, and Emily gave her a lot of really good advice, and Riley did follow that, so they did qualify for regionals. But she kicked Amanda out the dance, which I would have taken Amy off the dance if it was me. So then it's Miss Angela, and her choreo was something I wouldn't want to be doing. She was just all about flash and nothing else. And she didn't really feel dance, she just saw dance as a way to get her a good image, and that was it. And thought that helping the next step would give her a better image rather than helping the next step because it was needed. Next we're going to talk about Michelle, who was head of TNS West. I think Michelle was quite considerate, but I think sometimes she can be a bit too considerate. Like, she actually chose to do it, which was good because it had no money, it wasn't a troupe, there's no funding for it. So she actually did really well, and I thought that they maybe, I don't know who should have won between TNS East or TNS West. I liked her dance, but I also liked Top of the World. Top of the World was one of my favourite songs, so I did like how considerate Michelle was, but I just didn't think that she was strict enough. Like, she just wanted to be the dancer's friend in a way. But that's partly down to her younger days at the next step. She was constantly having to watch her back because of the e-girls. So they weren't doing anything to embarrass her or get her in trouble in any way. Next we're going to talk about Lucien, who was an elite studio head. He weren't all bad, like none of them have all been bad. Like, Lucien was a good choreographer. Like, I loved his choreo. Like, his choreo was so good. I know he did some nasty things because he tried to bring down the next step, but his choreo was so good. Like, excuse me for that, is wanting to run. Like, that's not meant to happen at all. So next we're going to talk about Emily, and she was studio head of TNS East. I liked Emily because her dances were good. I know Daniel choreographed them, but she was quite a good studio head. She didn't ever try and be the dancer's friend, which I don't really think was the best choice. But she sort of didn't really care about her dancers' feelings at all. She was sort of like, they're just machines in a way, which isn't really the best thing. Like, she didn't want all the hip-hop dancers and break dancers to audition, she just wanted the classically trained dancers to audition, which I thought was a little bit uncharacteristic of Emily, because she had changed, so maybe it was just Emily having a bad day, I don't know that. Next we're going to talk about Miss Kate, and Miss Kate I thought was good. She had a really good bond with the dancers, she helped the dancers. Sometimes she did jump to conclusion a little bit, like she immediately thought that because Chloe had a key to the lockbox, that Chloe would be the one who stole the money, when really it wasn't. It was Amanda trying to get Chloe kicked out of the studio. And she also assumed Emily stole the lockbox money because Amanda put the key in her bag. When really it was Amanda. So she does jump to conclusion a bit. I'm trying to think of more examples, just a couple. Feel free to comment your opinions on the studio heads. Finally, we're going to talk about Emily and Michelle. I loved how good they were. Like, Emily was the missing piece of the puzzles. That Michelle was missing, and Michelle was the missing piece of the puzzles that Emily was missing, which I thought was good. Like, they actually did really well. Like, they managed to help the next step win regionals. They managed to get them to qualify for regionals. I liked the regionals video dance. I also liked the song. Can't stop the fire, can't stop the feeling. Whether I've sang the right words or not. But I really liked it. I thought they were really good. Like, Emily was more stricter than Michelle was, which made Michelle a bit stricter. And Michelle made Emily was softer, so I made Emily a bit softer. So next we're going to talk about the choreographers. At the bottom is Phoebe, because I can't really rank her any higher, because apart from the Nationals route audition, which was good, I really thought the choreo was good, and it needed to be hard because it would weed out a lot of the pretenders in a way, but some of the original A-Troupe members didn't make the cut. But I thought Stephanie shouldn't have made the team, so I'm kind of glad she didn't make the team. Tiffany didn't really get the choreo, so I think maybe she should. I don't know if she should have made it or not. I don't think she should, based off of the choreo round. But based off the freestyle, put her in the team. Next we're going to talk about Chris. And I thought Chris had a really good bond with the dancers. And he took time to know the dancers. He helped James with his maths. That's what you say in America. It's maths in English, math in America. But he really took time to know the dancers. He had the dolphin tail thing, which I thought was quite funny. And I liked Chris. Just the only downside I can think of was he didn't stay on the team he didn't stay there long enough. He left after season 1 and the first episode of season 2. Next we're going to talk about West and Daniel. And West and Daniel were good. Like, I liked how they choreographed things. Like, you actually saw some of their choreo. I liked the hip hop solo audition choreography and that. And I thought that they did really well. Like, they were a good partnership. Like, West was a lot more laid back than Daniel. Daniel was right to be cautious of Rochelle's injury, which no one really took notice of. West and Michelle didn't know about it. Emily knew about it but turned a blind eye, which I didn't think was that good. So that's me ranking the studio heads and head choreographers. Feel free to comment your rankings and that below. Thanks for watching.